Electric cars, cheaper to run, no pollution. They're the transport of the future, and China has cottoned onto that big time. They're in pole position in the international electric car race. Electric cars, high-speed trains, transport of the future, which China is investing very heavily to become a clear world leader. Transport of the future, featuring in this episode of Futuristic China. Hello, welcome. I'm Grainger.
With such a vast territory and such a massive population, China is developing a transport system of epic proportions. Already 119 major highways have been built or are under construction. This year alone, 5,000 kilometres of new expressways will be built. And the number of drivers in China now far exceeds the entire population of the United States. On the roads, there are 150 million cars, with more than 17 million new models every year, while China makes 1 out of every 4 cars produced worldwide. Almost 1 million of those are electric.
China's throwing big resources and money at EVs. It has to. It still has a relatively small number of cars per capita, much less than half the US per capita of cars. You can't imagine China if they're all internal combustion engines, if that many people are going to be using cars. So electric vehicles is an absolute high priority, and that's where we're going to see, I think, some really big shifts in technology and the way people travel.
While they're still being tested in China, driverless cars, buses and vans are already being built. High-speed trains are now the fastest in the world, proving the strength of Chinese train technology and science. By 2020, there'll be 30,000 kilometres of high-speed train networks.
It's incredible to think that 10 years ago there wasn't one fast train in China, and now there's track equivalent to almost the rest of the world combined. And it's hard to imagine China today without the fast train.
And in the sky, China is building its own airliner, the C919, with strong government backing.
They've already launched a medium-sized passenger plane, and I think they would see themselves eventually competing with Boeing and Airbus. But there's still a long way to go, but they've started and they've had very successful tests of medium-sized passenger aircraft.
Finally, in space, China is making significant progress with the launch of its first space station, the launch of 18 rockets last year, and plans to put their own man on the moon.
And in space, well, China's had an active space program for many years now, and that also is a big priority. I think from a Chinese government position, they don't want to see China missing out in any main area. They look at themselves as a major country, a major power in the world, and they just operate on the basis that they should be in all of these areas.
Transport of the future, happening now in Futuristic China. China has a clear ambition to lead the world in electric cars. In the past 5 years, they've spent billions of renminbi subsidising the electric car industry, with both consumers and car makers receiving generous subsidies, tax exemptions and incentives.
The Chinese government have invested very heavily in this all-electric technology, charging stations now right across China, and buyers of these all-electric vehicles with those green-friendly environmental plates can have those vehicles registered immediately, compared to buyers of petrol vehicles, the conventional vehicles, that have to wait a long time, a lottery process, and charge a lot more.
By 2020, there'll be 5 million electric cars on the road, with electric car production up by 50% last year. Electric power is not the only difference in some models.
Electric cars, not just electric, but can operate by remote control. Helps you in tight parking situations. Off we go. Ease of parking with that remote control. Into gear and off we go.
Beijing residents wanting to buy conventional petrol cars have to wait years, but with electric cars, there's almost no restrictions.
One of the first things you notice driving an electric car is just how quiet they are and how much power, instant torque. Look at that acceleration, will you?
One of China's leading manufacturers with electric cars is BYD, short for Build Your Dreams. Backed by Warren Buffett and in production partnership with Daimler, BYD has 32% of China's electric car market. BYD sales director is Lu Yanbin.
Electric cars, cars of the future.
对，就是北京的未来。
Yes, it's the future of Beijing and the future of the Chinese
中国市
market.
场的未来。单纯于说我们这个
In
业来
this
说
shop,
是
approximately
大概在
80%
80%
plus are pure electric cars, with the market for petrol-powered cars very small now.
现在政府
The government offers big subsidies to these new energy cars. State government subsidies are 44,000 renminbi, or about $9,000, and local governments put in half that again. Altogether, that's 66,000 renminbi, or $13,000. A very supportive policy.
What do you see as the advantages of an all-electric vehicle?
优势非常多。
There are lots of advantages.
其次呢
Firstly, it protects the environment. Secondly, the cost of maintenance is lower.
最重要的
Most importantly, there's environmental protection.
动力非常积极
And also, the power is strong and battery recharge doesn't take a long
这个充
time.
电的时间也并不是很
The
长
fastest recharge takes 2 hours. A normal recharge
大概
takes
是
7
2个
hours.
小时就可以了。所有的购
For
车的
customers who buy BYD's electric cars, we install a charging station for them at no cost. Government agencies also encourage the installation of these charging stations, while the management of apartment blocks are also actively cooperating.
我们的市占率大概是在
Our market share in Beijing is about 32%. This means we take a 1/3 share of all new energy cars sold. That's a rather big share.
Measures the Chinese government have taken include banning the production of more than 500 models of heavy polluting cars and investing $60 billion in electric car subsidies. While autonomous vehicles are still to be officially permitted in China, with a standby driver in place, many manufacturers are into production anyway, confident laws will be relaxed. In the southern tech city of Shenzhen, the Shenzhen Bus Group is testing 4 driverless models.
Technology being worked out, but these are ready to hit the road, just waiting for approval from authorities. Look, Mum, no hands.
For startup truck maker Too Simple, their driverless trucks are being tested all over China and being sold and used in Arizona. It's seen as a lucrative new way of hauling goods, with the promise of lower costs, reduced accidents, and improved efficiency. And then there's Iconic. They're already mass-producing driverless electric passenger vans, with founder Alan Wu so confident of big sales, he's only taking pre-orders.
A pure electricity car. Yeah. It's no gas, no pollution. It's perfect.
So what do you see as the 3 big advantages of your vehicle?
The first one, we focus on passenger. The second one, we have the best design in the world. The third one, we have the best technology in the world.
Then there's high-speed train travel, not only extremely popular with Chinese travellers, but also lucrative. Most services are fully booked, with the popular Beijing to Shanghai route used by nearly 600 million people last year, netting $1 billion in profits.
With 1.4 billion people to transport, the high-speed rail network here in China is by far the biggest in the world. Right now, we're flashing between Beijing and Shanghai at speeds of over 300 kilometres an hour. We'll make that trip in just over 4 hours.
The new Beijing-Shanghai trains are known as Fuxing, or rejuvenation, and are capable of speeds of up to 400 kilometres an hour, making the train the fastest in the world. Symbolism of that is that it implies the strength of Chinese train technology and science. A super fast ride on the bullet train from Beijing delivers us to a major manufacturer of high-speed trains.
Steam train to bullet train. How quickly China's train transport has moved in the last century. we're in the port city of Qingdao at a train maker that produces almost 50% of China's modern trains.
This is the headquarters of CRRC Qingdao Shifang, set up almost 120 years ago by German investors. With a workforce of 12,000 and producing more than 208 carriage trains every year, company general manager Ma Yongshang is proud they're one of China's big four train makers.
So the high-speed rail network in China now is the largest by far in the world, and a lot of it is covered by your trains.
是的，在中国的这个高速
44% of all high-speed trains in China come from our factory, Sufang.
那么
Of every 10 high-speed trains in the world, 6 come from China.
占了全世界的60%。
So this is a massive revolution in terms of transport in China, going from the trains to this train, a massive revolution.
是的，我们把这个
Yes, indeed. We call the development of high-speed trains a time of intense emotion. There's been a period of rapid expansion in which people worked very hard. For sure, they're very proud of their achievement.
我们产量
On average, we produce 200 sets of high-speed trains every year. This number will vary depending on the orders we receive. Our company, Sufang, is the largest manufacturer of trains and railway transport equipment in the world. Apart from making 200 sets of high-speed trains every year, we also manufacture around 1,000 underground trains every year.
1000辆左右的地铁。
In fact, we didn't let our current train run at its top speed. However, back in 2015, we had 2 trains pass each other at 420 kilometers an hour.
我们在正徐
That was on the line between Zhangzhou and Zhuzhou,
火车的交汇。
but that wasn't the highest speed.
这个车并不
Before then, we ran one of our high-speed trains, the CRH 380A,
10年
at
的
a speed of 486 kilometers an hour.
这个
That was in December 2010, making it the highest speed train in the
列
world.
车跑出来的最高速。
Is the speed of your trains limited by the tracks? If the tracks were even better, could your trains go even faster?
Certainly, we have positioned Shufang to
因为
provide solutions to meet our
四方
customers'
四
requests.
方的定位是
Whatever our customers'
为用户
requirements,
提供
we're certainly able to produce the product for them.
如果说用户有这样的需求，
Apart from our current production of high-speed trains, we're researching production methods for maglev trains, magnetic
正
levitation
在研究
trains,
时速600公里，
capable of 600 kilometers an
在中
hour.
国这样一大一个
China is a huge territory which needs a variety of solutions to meet travelers' extensive demands for quick and convenient
多样
transport.
的是广泛的。我认为
I think we can say it. One is because of the rapid rate of development in technology in China. The other is the broad demand from users. Geographically, China is
因为
enormous.
中国纵横5000公里的
We have laid the biggest rail network in the world. Now the total length of trains in China is 25,000 kilometers.
2.5万公里。那么在这张网上
If I want to make trains run smoothly across the network, we must meet a broad range of requirements, from high to cold
高
temperatures,
温到高寒
from windy and dusty conditions
高湿等等
to
更
high humidity.
工况，而且要在技巧上
Therefore, it's a great challenge to our
对车的技
technology.
术提出了巨大挑战。要完
To
成
overcome these challenges will require a higher standard of technology.
是非常高的。
If we're able to achieve these solutions with high reliability and high safety, we will continue to lead the industry.
Shifang is a highly productive operation with 6 carriages completed every single workday. With a motto of integrity through excellence, Shifang trains have travelled more than 2 billion kilometres. That's 50,000 times around the Earth.
关键是创新。
To introduce advanced technology and management, the key is
先
innovation.
进管理方法的整合者。
Because technology changes rapidly and demand also changes as society changes, these innovations come as we improve our
这
standards.
种变化呢，来自于
Innovations come from a combination of
来自于
complex
各种复杂
requirements.
的需求的
Only if you can both be timely and highly efficient in integrating advanced technology and management methodology
能够最快
will you be able to achieve these innovations.
那么才能实现。现在高铁
Now, the 4 vertical and 4 horizontal systems of the national railway network have already been established. As the next step, China has planned 8 vertical and 8 horizontal systems of the national high-speed railway network.
各个区域
What this means is that the new network will comprise 8 north-south vertical corridors and 8 horizontal corridors running east-west, almost doubling current capacity.
城市轨道调度。
Under the national Chinese network, there are intercity railway networks, where each city will establish their own local railway network.
有了这种综合
This will form a comprehensive, multi-dimensional traffic system.
更像是一个巨大的城市。
Under this system, China will look more like a super-sized city, when we all travel around the entire country by high-speed train.
不能解决这天
It's as easy as travelling on the
大家
subway.
还有更快的这种需求，更高效。
However, it might still not resolve fundamental issues because people are demanding even faster travel more efficiently.
时速600公里的高速时速，我们
That's why we decided to research even faster travel. For example, we are now working on the 600 km/h magnetic levitation train.
快速通道，
We're going to fast-track our plans to meet demands in the big cities.
就是除了我
As
们
part of a comprehensive train system, we'll build airways, magnetic levitation trains, and high-speed trains, the holy trinity of train travel systems.
综合的高速交通体系。
China's next big transport ambitions are sky high. Its space program is highly secretive, but it is known that China's second space station, Tiangong-2, has a planned launching in the next 18 months. China is already gearing up big time with airline production. A big range of military and civilian jets and helicopters are already airborne. But the truly big investment is with China's homemade passenger plane, the C919. Beijing is investing $1 trillion to take on Western airlines, with the narrow-bodied twin-engine C919 currently undergoing test flights and due to be flying within 2 years. One Chinese company involved in both the aerospace and plane manufacturing business is Beijing Enterprises. Their vice chairman is Li Yongqing.
北京就是中国的航天，就是航空市场。
China's aviation market has a bright future. We're backing the Beijing airline business.
We're looking in your office here at a giant model of a rocket, a space rocket. Beijing Enterprises has a hand in that?
我们这下面有一个企业，北空集团下面有一个企业专门。
Yes, there is a company under our group producing aerospace-related products such as laser technology and ranging technology.
我们还同时跟他们这些企业合
We're
作
also
在
cooperating with them to transfer their technology into energy areas.
Beijing Enterprises is a major player in other fields as well.
我们的主业还是以城市基础设施为主。那
Our
涉及
main
到的
business
城市的
focus
能
is
源
urban infrastructure.
城市
We're
的
involved in urban energy supply, urban water supply, wastewater treatment, urban environmental sanitation, garbage incineration, power generation, etc.
How did you get to be so diverse and so big?
我们这个集团成立之初啊，其实就是
In the beginning of our company's operation, we set our philosophy as make life better. Therefore, we integrated our ability in the area of fundraising, technology, investment, construction, and operation.
投资能力、我们的建设能力、我们的运营能力。
What value these days would you put on Beijing Enterprises? How much are you worth?
北控集团现在我们2017年
Beijing Enterprise Group did very well in 2017. The turnover exceeded 100 billion yuan, and total profit reached 10 billion yuan. That's about $2 billion. Our company motto is to make urban life better, especially in areas like water
然后我
treatment.
们下边我们
Our
有很
motto
多
is
其他的企业，
water,
像我们
life,
水务、
love.
水、生命、爱。
Shipping is another major area of transport in China, with 20 deep-water harbours along its 14,000-kilometre-long coastline. Shipping cargo around the world has accelerated at such a rate that China is now the world's top handler of containers. But if there's been a transport revolution involving shipping, vehicles and trains, there's a movement afoot in a far older and more conventional mode of transport as well.
Back in the 1980s, 4 out of 5 Chinese rode push bikes. That number has since dropped dramatically to 1 out of 5, in line with the boom in the Chinese economy. Well, there's a resurgence led by these push bikes lining the streets in most Chinese cities.
The mass bikes are rentals, GPS enabled. Flash your smartphone to scan a code, take a ride, then leave and lock the bike wherever you choose. It's a bike share system which is proving extremely popular, a billion-dollar revolution that has already transformed the look and feel of cities around the country, with more than 100 million apps downloaded and billions of rides taken on millions of bikes. It's a concept that Chinese startup companies are now exporting to cities around the world, one that is gaining a backlash with dump bikes cluttering footpaths. Rental bikes aside, China's transport revolution is having a positive impact in other countries, as Jeff Raby explains.
What impact China's own investment in transport will have on the rest of the world, I think overall will be quite positive. For electric vehicles, the cost of these will come down most quickly in China because of the size of the market, and you can get scale economies. And similarly with the fast trains, China's now building high-speed trains in many different parts of the world. One thing China has achieved, which is quite remarkable, is the capacity to mass-produce major civil engineering works, like a train system. So everything becomes standardized, and they roll it out, and they repeat it, and then the marginal costs fall. You saw that a decade ago when they started replacing their old power stations with 600 megawatt coal-fired power stations. All over the country, they're identical and standardized, and so the cost falls quite dramatically.
In our final episode of Futuristic China, we'll feature the business behind China's modern cultural revolution, supplying and feeding China's population of 1.4 billion people, including the voracious and discerning restaurant goers in Sichuan province. We'll look at China's burgeoning film industry, take a look at high fashion, China's architectural wonders, the art scene, and its big celebrations, especially around Chinese New Year. Culture and the business brains behind it. Next in Futuristic China.